One change from the team that lost 2-0 at Clyde last weekend. On loan Rangers midfielder Jojo Ephraim dropping out. And incoming Gary McKenzie back from suspension. Partick Thistle lost 1-0 at home to Airdrie last weekend. They welcome back Scottish First Division Player of the Year nominee Gary Harkins, and he's sure to be worrying the Dundee mid-defence with his footwork. So both these teams lost the bottom two last weekend, and that's what Jockey Scott was saying after the Clyde game. Too many points dropped against the bottom two teams this season, and eventually it can be said to have cost Dundee a shot at promotion this season. So then Dundee get us underway, and just like the opening game of the season here at Dens Park, the first home game against Clyde, the rain was lashing down that day, so it is today. And a damn squib of a game, maybe here at Dens Park, and certainly damn squib ends the season to Dundee. Only one win in the last 8 for Dundee, that coming away at Livy, and they'll try and put that right from the corner kick, headed out of danger though by Gary Harkins, and is fired back in on goal and has found its way into the back of the net. And Darren Young, who scored the goal down at Livingston, Dundee's last league win, he's done it again. A goal right from the start from Dundee, and that will please Jockey Scott. He's sheltering in the dugout over there on the far side, and despite maybe being a bit cold, you can be sure that's warmed him up. And keeper John Tuffy must have been unsighted or taken a deflection. The ball just rolling into the back of the net, and Darren Young won't complain. It's been a really tough season for him, and to get his second goal, that'll please him. Now here's Gary Harkins stepping inside, and now Donnelly just losing out, and David Cowan will pick up the throw-in. Now Poshnak. Now here is Darren Young. Story. And he finds the space all the way over. Now Donnelly trying to take the long way around Chris Poshnak, and just running out of space down on the near side. Simon Donnelly there. This will be his last game for Partick Thistle, not being given a new contract by Ian McCall and the former Scotland international. They'll be searching for a new club at the end of the game today. Now Buchanan. A Story just being forced backwards. It's fired forward. Liam Buchanan almost getting in the end of it, just too high, and maybe the head of Gary McKenzie just taking it off Liam Buchanan there. And Jim Laughlin, who's been a tower of strength at the back of Dundee's team this season. Mr. Dependable. Great putting in the last ditch challenges, doing enough to win the new contract this season. And Brian Deasley chasing down Alan Archibald here and just being a bit too physical. And in fact, it's John Robertson. He's been penalised. He's not sure what for, but Brian Deasley running down into the corner, making his second consecutive start. Back in the team last week against Clyde, and Antoine Courier still suspended. Brian Deasley has kept his place in the team. And Andrew Shinney playing his last game for Dundee today, taking the free kick. Swinging over, and Benedictus trying to get ahead, and it might just drop to him. But Simon Story charging out and getting the ball away. And McKenzie trying to flick the ball on, but Colin McMenamin is offside this time. Can't force the ball goalwards, and John Tuffy furious with his defence, pointing out instructions to them. And he'll be disappointed with the way he conceded that opening goal. Ball just trundling into the net, him going the wrong way. The man who represented his country at full international level for the first time this season won't be happy, but he's found Buchanan with the long ball down the pitch, trying to take on Andrew Shinney, and has been picked up by Rowson. And Shinney just trying to step round John Robertson there. The ball being pointed back to Rob Douglas, who on his return to Dundee started every game this season and picking up accolades along the way from fans and press, being appointed man of the match several times this season, and he's certainly been worth a few points to Jockey Scott's team this term. Harkins sliding in there on Andrew Shinney, and slipped there by Kyle Benedictus, recovers well, sliding the ball out of play, and Mark Twaddle, well, I thought about guessing as we started, but just passing it to Ian Maxwell. You saw that a sliding challenge there from Gary Harkins, certainly a very slippery surface here at Dens Park. The rain still coming down, just maybe easing off a bit though now. Here's Story. Now Payton. And he had to take it on his left foot there, and not his favourite foot. Now Archibald. Now Darren Young, the goal scorer, trying to step away with it. Shinney though takes it off him. Now Deasley. Colin McMenamin trying to stay onside, and then the ball played by Deasley through to the Dundee striker. Squares it. Deasley can't get in on the end of it. In fact, Darren Young, the man who appeared in the box. Colin McMenamin had to hold his run up, trying to stay onside, and did just enough, beating the linesman's flag. Couldn't force it goalwards though. Now here's Harkins. Been a fantastic player for Partick Thistle this season. 12 goals. Top goal scorer for Thistle. And he would have certainly loved to be playing as straight in the SPL. Certainly be the man who's been hauling Thistle up the league. Here he is again. Just getting the ball caught between his legs this time. Maxwell being forced all the way back by Colin McMenamin to John Tuffy. Rowson headed down for Donnelly and gets it back off him. Now Payton. Story's making the run outside him, but Payton lame for Buchanan in the box. Gets the header back across, and Donnelly charging it down. Donnelly still going forward. Benedictus takes him down, but the referee waves the play on. Simon Donnelly suddenly had a look at the referee there as he went down, and maybe that counted against him. Looking for the foul. The referee not fooled. And Deasley. Good footwork, strong as well up against Alan Archibald. Brian Deasley, not the strongest of players physically, but he certainly made it all count there. Now here's Poznak. Colin McMenamin ahead of him. Deasley's making the run outside him, but Poznak still going all alone. Rowson cutting him off though. Poznak now trying to find Eddie Malone outside him. Ball cuts out though by Paul Payton. Certainly been a very open start to the game. Feels that this game could have been a kickabout. Alleviated in the first 10 minutes. Certainly very competitive. Both teams going for it. Nothing to lose for either team. And Liam Buchanan forcing down Andrew Shinney there. And the referee put the whistle to his lips. And then wave play on. Now Payton. And Donnelly, who'll lay it off for Gary Harkins, who thought about the strike and decided to take a touch. And in the end, Jim Laughlin sliding in. Gets the ball away down in the halfway line. Donnelly helps it on, and here's McMenamin. Now Young. David Cowan takes it forward. Now Deasley and Dundee playing the passes at the moment. Buoyed by the early goal. Chanel gets it into the goal, and it's headed away by Simon Story. Now Mackenzie back in the team, trying to find the ball back to Andrew Shinney, and the ball forward. Well, I was going to go out for a goal kick, but the ball swung on its way down into the corner, and Dundee can push up. It's just a throw into Partick Thistle. Maxwell throwing it forward. Twaddle heads it on, and Young hits it back down into the corner. And Thistle just advancing a few yards there from the throw in. Benedictus forward, and the ball took a deflection there off Simon Donnelly on his way forward. And poor pass there by Liam Buchanan, sliding in there as he played it. And Simon Story scrambling all the way back to try and keep the ball in play, not succeeding. And it's going to be a throw into Dundee. Simon Story not believing it, but the Aussie lays the ball down for Eddie Malone. Now Poshnak, who's joined a run in the team towards the end of the season, out of the picture a long time under Jockey Scott, but he's picked his place back in the team, and he's kept it with Colin Cameron being out injured. Hawkins can get it forward and clattered down there by Chris Poshnak. Maxwell all the way over to Simon Story. Now Hawkins trying to get turned off Chris Poshnak, but Chris Poshnak holding him in tight, not letting him get away. And Paul Payton fouled as he tried to battle for the ball over on the far side. And this will give Thistle the opportunity to swing the ball in from the free kick. Paul Payton will place it himself on the Simon Story. They're also just being forced backwards by the referee. And indeed it is going to be Paul Payton. Low cross into the box. Simon Donnelly couldn't get in the end of it. And Eddie Malone will fire it away. Now Robertson. Back forward and Maxwell helps it on. And Buchanan's onside and his strike tugged well wide of the Dundee goal. Robert Douglas, never troubled. Story couldn't keep the ball in play, but he'll try again from the throw-in and headed back towards it. And John Tuffy scrambling across to retrieve the ball. The ball boy doing his job and glance around at the empty spaces around Dens Park today. Partick Thistle losing out in the championship race last weekend with a 1-0 home defeat to Airdrie. It was relevant in the end with St Johnstone doing their job, but both these teams keeping their challenge going up until the last few months. And if Dundee had managed to avoid defeat in those 4 away games and keep the challenge going, then you can be sure Dens Park would have been full today. As it is, plenty of spaces around, and Buchanan offside there as the ball played over the top. Mackenzie couldn't block it, but the offside flag coming to his rescue. And a slack pass there by Gary Mackenzie from the free kick. Simon Donnelly picks it up. Now Buchanan, Gary Hawkins racing into the box in support now. Buchanan tries to take it past Gary Mackenzie, appeals to the linesman for the free kick. Linesman gives it, and Liam Buchanan certainly looked for that one, running into Gary Mackenzie. Mackenzie stood his ground, blocked the run, and it's one of the ones the benefit of the doubt will always go to the attacker. And Liam Buchanan's done his job on this occasion. Twaddle placing the ball for the free kick, and Alan Archibald up from the back for the free kick. Gary Mackenzie picking up a booking, in fact, for the block on Liam Buchanan as he tried to make his way into the box. Ian Maxwell in there as well. And the referee just telling the players to keep a lid on all the pushing. And certainly Jim Laughlin was arm around Ian Maxwell, and the referee not keeping an eye on. And the ball in there by Mark Twaddle, blocked at the wall. And Story helps it back forward. Cowan tries to get away. Gary Hawkins get a boot on it, knocks it up in the air and blocks it going forwards, but Dundee can come away with it now. Andrew Shinney with the ball forward, and Brian Deasley trying to use his pace in behind Simon Story. Not quick enough on this occasion. John Tuffy out in the edge of his area picks up the ball. Now Maxwell. Liam Buchanan can't get any joy out of Benedictus this occasion. 10th start of the season for Kyle Benedictus, and Young Player of the Month award for him this season as well. Certainly been an excellent season for Kyle Benedictus, and few would have anticipated at the start of the season that the young defender would have played such a big part in Dundee's season, and he's certainly shown that, and he's certainly shown that next season he'll be a part of Jockey Scott's plans as well. Now Poshnak, a slack pass touch again from the Canadian international, and sliding in as well on David Rowson. In fact, David Rowson, the man penalised from the incident there. Poshnak getting the benefits. Here's Shinnie. Now Poshnak, but a slack touch again from the Canadian international, picked up by Hawkins, and Thistle can get it away. Twaddle. Inside to Archibald, who'll fire the ball forward. Hawkins. And just got a wee clip in the heels there from Chris Poshnak, but gets away with it. Here's Shinnie, sliding in there, couldn't keep the ball, and Archibald will find Payton. And Liam Buchanan up here against Jim Loughlin. Almost caught there, Jim Loughlin, but forced the ball backwards. Now here's Buchanan. Twaddle outside him. David Cowan across there to narrow down the angle. And Ian Maxwell force it into the box, and McKenzie gets the head net to get away. Paul Payton scampering over there with Darren Young to keep the ball in play. And in fact, he's let the ball go out for the throw in. And Partick Thistle, despite conceding that goal very early on, sadly coming into the game a lot more. And Dundee, since Colin McMenamin drove into the box, struggling to create any attacking opportunities. Rab Douglas caught, then Liam Buchanan had a gaping goal there. If only he could have controlled the ball. Rab Douglas coming to the edge of the area. Rowson beaten to the ball, and down the other end, Colin McMenamin could get the end of the Andrew Shinnie pass, and in fact he can't, and the ball will roll out of play. But down the other end, Rab Douglas not getting the end of on the end of the ball, counting his lucky stars that when the ball came across to Liam Buchanan, he just couldn't get a touch to keep it under control, and a chance drifts away. McKenzie just missing the ball there, and Simon Donnelly running across, can't keep it in play. There's Loughlin on the far side, battling with Simon Donnelly, and Donnelly gets a touch, but in fact he's fouled Jim Loughlin in the process. Yeah. McKenzie having to run backwards here from the header in a wild clearance, sclaffed up in the air, not getting much distance on it. But Dundee getting away with it. Cowan helping it forward, and Andrew Shinnie chasing it away. And Tuffy will have to watch Brian Diesler there, just getting it away in time. And Jim Loughlin's header will go all the way back to the Northern Ireland International. That's Cowan. Now Andrew Shinnie, who's suddenly impressed during his time at Dens, scoring for the Scotland under-21s as well during his Dundee tenure, and I'm sure Walter Smith at Rangers will have been keeping tabs on his progress, and maybe with a view to including him in the Rangers team next season. If not, then sadly another loan spell would do Andrew Shinnie the world of good, as he looks to keep his place in that Scotland under-21 team. And chip ball by Rowson, almost coming through to Mark Twaddle. Twaddle couldn't get in the end of it, and David Cowan tries to complete the clearance, but Mark Twaddle gets it again. In fact, he's offside from the rebounded clearance, and David Cowan gets away with it. Eddie Malone almost profiting from the Paul Payton header there. And in fact, he got a touch on it because it's a free kick to Thistle. Robertson cutting inside and playing the ball all the way across to Ian Maxwell, who won the first division with St Mirren when they went up last time. And he knows what it takes to win league championships. Not doing it this time though, losing out to St Johnstone in the long run. And the decision for the throw-in going the way of Dundee. And David Cowan will get us restarted from the throw-in on the right side of our wing-back system today. David Cowan, Jockey Scott choosing to employ the 3-5-2 that got the 1-0 victory at Livingston. Dundee's only win in the last 8 games, and it's got them the lead at the moment. The Aaron Young's goal, and Liam Buchanan running in there, and Rab Douglas just couldn't stretch out a leg to touch it beyond the Scotland keeper. Now McMenamin, fouled by John Robertson. Well, no, says the referee. Now Young, trying to find David Cowan out wide, but Maxwell touches it down, and now Thistle can just keep possession at the back. Now here's Story. And in the end, Buchanan brought down from behind, and the rain seems to have found a second win, really lashing down at Dens Park, and certainly not the weather you expect for the last day of the season. Buchanan running into the box, striding in, and then ball coming off Mackenzie, and then rebounding back off Buchanan, behind for a goal kick to Dundee. McMenamin just gets the nod on to Eddie Malone, and trying to run forward Eddie Malone, and John Robertson sliding and takes the ball off his feet. Scored his first league goal for Dundee this season. Eddie Malone getting the goal away at Dunfermline, and he's only missed one game this season, Eddie Malone as well. Excellent effort for the Dundee defender. Most appearances for an outfield player this season, Eddie Malone. Now Young battling with Simon Story down in the corner, but Story gets his foot around the ball and fires it away. Poshnak. Now Young trying to get turned and just got the ball hooked away from him. Poshnak though, good touch, getting away, and now Andrew Shinney. Cowan. And the ball almost coming through there for Brian Deasley, who another one to have signed a new contract during the week, doing enough to impress Jockey Scott towards the end of the season. He's worth a new deal. And only the one goal for Brian Deasley this season, which I'm sure he'll be disappointed with. But he's got another year to try and bag more goals for Jockey Scott. Here's Payton. Now Harkins, who's exceeded expectations for Thistle this season. Now Twaddle, trying to take the long way around David Cowan, but snipping the ball into shins and rebounding away, and Mark Twaddle kind of runs another few yards up the pitch. And Maxwell. And could see a long throw in here from the former St Mirren defender. Has found Gary Harkins nodded out and can't get in the end of anyone from Partick Thistle. And Colin McMenamin fouled, and the game is just dies down a bit. A very open first 10 minutes. Darren Young scoring the goal that's given Dundee the 1-goal advantage. And since then, not many goal-scoring opportunities to think of. Colin McMenamin driving into the box, couldn't find Brian Deasley with the square ball. And Liam Buchanan as well, with the goal at his mercy. Just couldn't get a touch, otherwise it would have been a simple task for him to roll it into the back of the net. Eddie Malone Good running it down into the corner, keeps the ball in play, and from the corner flag almost finds Colin McMenamin. The ball headed away. Brian Deasley tries to keep it alive though, and Simon Story completes the job for Partick Thistle. But the referee going to stop the action with a head knock in the Thistle area, with coming together with Colin McMenamin. John Robertson it is, who's back up on his feet now. Just giving the bench the all clear. He's fit to carry on. And the bounce ball fired all the way back to Rob Douglas, who says he's enjoying his football again now, back at Dundee. Now Deasley nipping the ball back, and Andrew Shinney trying to run forward. McMenamin tried to help it on round the corner to him. Shinney continued his run. The ball forward blocked though. Now Young battling with Simon Donnelly. The ball comes off Gary Harkins on its way out of play. Now Tuffy. And Tuffy will look for Mark Twaddle from the ball forward. Must come all the way through to Liam Buchanan in behind Kyle Benedictus. Buchanan still going forwards, trying to square the ball, but guess who's there? Jim Laughlin again blocking the ball, stopping it getting into the danger area. Maxwell back to the feet of Liam Buchanan now, and he skips inside Kyle Benedictus, gets the ball across, and pulled down by Mark Twaddle. It was who's found his way into the area. Couldn't force a goal, was though. McMenamin can't win the header up against Alan Archibald. Now Buchanan. And now Harkins and Paul Payton screaming for it out wide. He's got it now, and he'll try and get the ball across. A low stinging cross. Darren Young getting in the way of it, blocking the ball before it can get to the danger area. And now Eddie Malone will try and pick a pass and set Dundee on the attack. Good touch by McMenamin. Now Andrew Shinney. Outside now Brian Deasley. He's up against Alan Archibald at the back. Squares it across. And now David Cowan has a chance for his first Dundee goal. Squares it. Blocks away. And he'll get his chance again. Now Andrew Shinney. And Shinney aims for the bottom corner, but John Tuffy gets two good hands behind it. And the Scotland under-21 international doesn't add to his goal tally for Dundee. Buchanan just comes off the shoulder and bobbles up in the air. Now Donnelly in his last appearance for Partick Thistle. And now Archibald. Now Twaddle. David Cowan. And not a regular score for Dundee. In fact, he hasn't scored at all for Dundee. And that was a chance. And opting to square it. Who would have thought if Colin McMenamin himself was in that kind of goal-scoring opportunity, maybe a striker would think without shooting. David Cowan, though, playing the team game, opting to square it for someone with a better opportunity. Now Buchanan. And now Payton, who's certainly had plenty of crossing opportunities in this first half. Buchanan just blocked as he made his way through. Donnelly's picked it up though. Benedictus still battling. And in the end, Kyle Benedictus gets it away. Now Maxwell gets it back, Ian Maxwell. Now Harkins seems to pop up all over the pitch there, just popping up just in front of the back four, and he's certainly capable of popping up in an attacking sense as well. 12 goals this season he's popped up with. Now Lachlan gets it away. Deasley taken from behind by John Robertson. And the referee gives an indication John Robertson got the ball. Now Twaddle. And Harkins just plays the ball outside, and Ian Maxwell can certainly push forward here. Donnelly just, in fact, David Rowson just slips as he tried to play the ball there. Now Harkins. And David Rowson might fancy a striker goal here. David Rowson was rising all the way. Not going to challenge Robert Douglas, and the former Aberdeen man. Doesn't add to his tally there. Certainly been a regular in the Partick Thistle side this season. Had a spell down south. And he knows what it's like to play SPL football. Playing there for Partick Thistle and Aberdeen. It's going to be another season for him consigned to the Scottish Football League. Poshnak who's that forward, and Maxwell just guides that back to John Tuffy. Brian Deasley was thought for a moment there about running in and challenging him, but decided that it was too far ahead. Now here's Robertson. Now Maxwell. Gary Harkins tries to take on both Dundee players, and in the end gets away with it. He let the ball run a bit too far ahead of him there, but David Rowson came across and fought it back for Partick Thistle. Cowan, and Cowan turns and knocks the ball forward, and Brian Deasley running in here with John Robertson, but John Tuffy shielded Brian Deasley off the ball by John Robertson. John Tuffy had the simple task of just claiming it. If John Robertson wasn't doing his job, Brian Deasley, you would have fancied him nipping the ball past him. Now Donnelly, and he forced the ball out wide to Paul Payton, keeps the ball in play over on the far side. Now inside Eddie Malone, and Paul Payton with a wild cross chipped it well over the bar, and in fact has gone behind for a goal kick as well. And Paul Payton running back to halfway line won't be happy with that effort at all. And in fact Ian McCall can't bear to watch. He's turned away. Jerry Britton on the edge of the Thistle coaching area, barking out the instructions. And Ian McCall returns to his place in the side. Paul Payton this time gets the ball across, and Mark Twaddle nods it down, but there's no one there. And Kyle Benedictus just guides it out of the area. Now Dundee can try to set up a counter-attack. Poshnak through to Andrew Shinney, and Shinney running forward. He's got his run blocked there by David Rowson, but Eddie Malone's popped up outside for him. Now Young. And Brian Deasley is offside. Ball forward by Darren Young. And John Tuffy scampers over to the, just over in front of the tunnel, retrieves the ball. Story, the ball forward, nodded down by Mackenzie. Donnelly scampering across, gets his foot in the ball, and it'll be Dundee Putin from the throw-in. Now Tuffy, the long ball forward, and Liam Buchanan tries to get his head in it, but in fact Liam Buchanan is offside. Flag going up quite promptly on the far side from the assistant referee, and play halted. Now Young just a chip ball outside to find Cowan. Now Poshnak, and the ball through. Colin McMenamin acres the space, the ball through from Poshnak. McMenamin guides around John Tuffy, and Colin McMenamin sticks it in the back of the net. A bit of a surreal goal. The Partick Thistle defence going to sleep from the free kick. And they're all having an argument between them. Colin McMenamin doesn't mind though. It's his second goal of the season against Partick Thistle. Similar to the first one, he took the ball around John Tuffy before guiding it past him. And he'll accept those kind of goals all day long. A fantastic ball through by Chris Poshnak to find the space. But Ian McCall will wonder what his defence were doing. Twaddle. And Simon Donnelly penalised for the handball. And Dundee have the 2-goal advantage. Both goals surreal in their own way. Jockey Scott will certainly be taking this. 1 win in the last 8. And the opportunity to finish on a high. Give the fans the 3 points. Certainly looking likely at the moment. Robertson, chip forward, and Liam Buchanan never going to get on the end of that one. Far too high. Now Benedictus. Now Poshnak. Deasley, just a wee flick trying to find David Cowan. Mark Twaddle covering though. And the rain perhaps just easing off here at Dens Park. Still coming down. In fact, having said that, it's now started lashing down again. Buchanan getting turned, but getting the ball out to Simon Story. Story forced backwards all the way. Now Harkins. Rowson. And now Payton. Story trying to nip the ball away from Andrew Shinney. Not doing his best though. And Andrew Shinney in the end just holding on to the shirt of Gary Harkins as he went forward there. And Gary Harkins will take the resultant free kick. In fact, he's just going to leave it. John Robertson spotting the ball now. Now Story being forced all the way back by Brian Deasley. And John Tuffy, who will be furious at both goals. The first one taking a deflection on his way through from Darren Young. John Tuffy going the wrong way, couldn't change direction quickly enough in the second one. Well, he'll be asking the question what his defence were doing. Now Young, plenty of space on the far side for Eddie Malone. Here's McKenzie though. Now Lachlan. Swings it out wide to Cowan. And Hawkins just has enough fight in him to get a ball away from David Cowan and Liam Buchanan. Losing out to Jim Laughlin. Jim Laughlin again, Mr. Dependable at the back, captain in the absence of Eric Payton, and you can see why he's wearing the captain armband for Dundee. Covering acres of ground during the course of the game, making crucial tackles when they needed. Twaddle just delaying over this throw-in. Gets the ball back off Donnelly here, Mark Twaddle. He'll force a goal. Rab Douglas might be caught with the ball a bit high, but claiming it high. Liam Buchanan lurking behind him for any spills. And I thought that one may have just looped over Robert Douglas. Scotland international. Well, I should have known better. Now here's Archibald, former Dundee United defender. And just eased forward there by Simon Donnelly, trying to find Mark Twaddle with a running behind the Dundee defence. David Cowan running back though, knocking the ball out of play for the throw-in. And Ian Maxwell will wind up another long throw-in here. And Paul Payton lurking on the edge of the area, and he's going to be making a late run. In fact, he does run into the box now. Ian Maxwell, though, is crossing, blocked away. And he'll get another chance for the long throw. This time, Simon Donnelly makes his way into the area, and it will be a long throw from Ian Maxwell. Now Twaddle couldn't get his head in it. Lachlan getting it away before Maxwell fires it back in. And the clearance just a bit too high for Colin McMenamin. Couldn't control it. Now here's Story. Now Payton. Chip forward and Mark Twaddle challenges Robert Douglas, but David Cowan just forcing him away. Little dummy by Colin McMenamin, couldn't find Brian Deasley. Now here's Payton. And now Story. The Thistle fans behind the John Tuffy's goal on the far side in the Bob Shankly stand. Certainly making plenty of noise. They are in a party atmosphere at the moment, despite being 2 goals down. They're making all the noise in the grounds, trying to urge their team back from this 2-goal deficit. Despite missing out on promotion, they have travelled in decent numbers. Reduced admission prices probably played a factor in some of their decisions to come up from Glasgow today. Rowson couldn't get the ball off Darren Young there. And now here's Colin McMenamin. And the Thistle fans continue to make plenty of noise. Now here's Young, back to Poznak. And Brian Deasley this time is offside. The ball through from Chris Poznak, not timed to perfection this time. Certainly was timed to perfection for the second Dundee goal for Colin McMenamin. This time, just getting the timing slightly off. Twaddle nods the ball down, trying to find Liam Buchanan. Gary McKenzie back in the Dundee defence, getting the ball away. Now he's Young. Deasley running forward and still going forward. Brian Deasley. Colin McMenamin up in support. Deasley will try and find him with the ball forward. Colin McMenamin just blocked by Alan Archibald. The former United man doing his job at the back, sliding in there, getting the ball away from the Dundee goal scorer today. Colin McMenamin would certainly fancy doubling his tally there. Not this time though. Now here's the other goal scorer, Darren Young. Forces the ball goals. Brian Deasley couldn't get there, and Colin McMenamin couldn't take advantage. And the ball, with the goal gaping, fired high and wide. In fact, it's not Colin McMenamin. Eddie Malone it was, sliding in there at the far post. Not getting close at all with the efforts, but Brian Deasley at the near post, almost connecting, almost getting his second goal of the season. Not this time though. Here's McMenamin trying to help it on, and now Brian Deasley trying to force Ian Maxwell backwards, still going for Brian Deasley, and Maxwell forced to knock the ball out of play on the halfway line. Good running by Brian Deasley, forcing the former St Mirren man under pressure all the time. And Dundee have possession from the throw-in. Cowan trying to look for the option. Here's Shinnie. Back with Cowan. And now Poznak in space, just getting tangled up there with Colin McMenamin, but Dundee recover. Now here's Young. Chip forward and Colin McMenamin running into the box, and Alan Archibald just blocked his run and he ran through there. And it's a thumbs up from Colin McMenamin for the ball from Darren Young. And the 2 goal scorers almost combine for a third Dundee goal. Twaddle running at David Cowan, now taking the outside route. Mark Twaddle running into the byline. Now Donnelly, forced off the ball though by Chris Poznak, and Brian Deasley hams it all the way back up the halfway line, and the chance goes a begging again for Partick Thistle. Robertson forces it back forward. Donnelly trying to nod the ball down, but nobody's there for Partick Thistle, and Ian McCall will be fuming under that baseball cap on the far side. Now here's Story. And tugged back there by Andrew Shinnie as Simon Story tried to run away with it. Pulled back though, and the Australian, who's operating a bit more centrally than he did at the start of the game, wins a free kick. Alan Archibald will take it Forced forward and been nodded down now. Gary Harkins and now Simon Donnelly might have a chance, but a fresh air strike from the former Celtic man. Now Archibald will go for a wild strike and catches the outside of the book and swerved away from goal. But Simon Donnelly, former Scotland international, fresh air strike in front of goal, and if he had made contact away back into the game, would have loomed for Partick Thistle. Malone gets a nod on the ball to Brian Deasley, but Maxwell fires it away. Now Poshnak. Tuffy fires it forward. Twaddle can't get his head in it. Benedictus getting it away. Now Young looks all the way forward for Colin McMenamin, and Eddie Malone trying to recover. Does his splits and can't get a touch on the ball. Robertson fired forward. Now Donnelly. He'll try to make amends for that fresh air strike moments ago. Gets the ball out wide. Now Twaddle with the header, nodded down, and this goes wide of the Dundee post. And inches was involved in that one from Mark Twaddle. And he looks up at the grey sky in Dundee, trying to work out just how that ball drifted wide. And it really was inches in that. And he could have found a way back into the game for Partick Thistle just on the stroke of half time. Not to be though. And Robert Douglas fires it away, and indeed it is half time here at Dens Park. 2-0 to Dundee. Darren Young becoming a goal scoring machine in the centre of the park for Dundee. Colin McMenamin got his second goal this season against Partick Thistle. It's 2-0 Dundee at the break, but Thistle, they've had chances.
Team's just come up for the second half here at Dens Park. It's wet and a bit windy as well. Rain still pouring down, and the score still remains Dundee 2, Partick Thistle 0. Here comes the referee now. We're just waiting for the game to get going again. Dundee's goal scores in the first half were Darren Young. His shot deflected in past Jonathan Tuffy. And the second, well, Colin McMenamin beats the offside trap very well indeed. And he takes it past Tuffy and makes it 2-0 Dundee. That's the way it remains until near the end of the first half, where Twaddle lets to a header and just put it past the post. May have shaved it on the way, but Dundee, I think, are still unchanged. No, they haven't. Could have made the change. And Mark Gilhaney's came on. Not sure who he's replaced yet. And here we go, it's Partick gets on the way. Brian Deasley for Dundee. Archibald gets him well. That's Harkins trying to put Partick through, but it's well cut out. Here he is again. Brian Rosen. Headed away by Cowan. That's going to be a goal kick to Dundee. That's Gary McKenzie who's came off for Mark Gilhaney. For Partick, Kevin McKinley's came on as well, but not sure who for yet. Here's Jim Laughlin. And now here's Darren Young. Malone finds Gilhaney. Chance to run at the Partick defence. He slipped in. Brian Deasley here. He's looking on to Shinnie. And Shinnie goes for glory, but Shot goes over the crossbar, trying to bend one in the top corner. Gilhaney's going to bring on a lot of pace for the second half. And Gary McKenzie booked as well. It's a smart move by Jockey Scott. Well won by Benedictus. It's McKinley on to Donnelly. And he's trying to win a free kick, and he has done. It's right on the edge of the box, I think. Or is he giving a corner kick? A chance here for Partick Thistle to get a goal back here. A few minutes into the second half. Here it comes. And it's headed just wide by Harkins, I think it was. Yeah, it was. Goal kick to Dundee. Up from Rad Douglas. Polosniak target, but it loses out. And Buchanan trying to take it past Cowan, but runs out of play. And Cowan will settle for the throw in to Dundee. Up by Dan Young. Deasley always most likely going to lose it in that challenge. Maybe by Archibald. Flick on by McKinley. Like with Simon Donnelly, but it's away by Malone. And it's going to run back through to Rad Douglas again. And since he's moved back to Dundee, he's played every minute of every game. And it's going to continue to the end of this half. Or is Libet Roy going to make an appearance? Beasley is away, but the offside flag goes up. And Partick have the free kick. Tuffy. Looking for Twaddle, but Shinny gets a head on it, knocks it out of play for a throw into Partick. Twaddle finds Simon Donnelly. Harkins loses out. Danny Young's touch, which is a little too hard. Archibald finds Simon Donnelly. Gets the ball back again from Twaddle. Here's Buchanan trying to turn his way in. Lachlan has to put it out of play for a throw in. Partick piling on the pressure early in the second half. Came close with a header from Harkins a few minutes back. And they're still attacking now. Throw-in helped on. And Shinny, well, it's miscleared. Harkins. Lachlan gets it away. But still Partick have possession. Douglas says well, but couldn't hold on. Well, no doubt with the gloves being wet. But he does well to make the first save. And luckily for Dundee, it fell to the path of, I think it was Benedictus. They didn't have much to do in the first half, Douglas, but early in this second half, Partick are throwing everything at him. And it's going to be a free kick to Dundee. McMenamin going down. Up from Cowan. McMenamin with the header. And he's blocked it down as well. Throw into Partick. It's going back to Tuffy. Malone takes it on the chest well. Finds Andrew Shinney. No, he doesn't. He's cut it well, but Buchanan was offside anyway. Douglas gives it short to Cowan. He keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Throw into Partick. And the referee is just going to have a word with both Cowan and Twaddle. And now we can get back on with the game. McMenamin charging this one down. Part to get it clear. Held on by McKinley. And Cowan has to knock out for a throw in again. Headed away by Shinney. Back again. Drills in low. And it came off a Cowan for a corner kick for Partick. There's the first corner in the second half. And it's to the away side. In it comes. And it's headed behind by Darren Young. Another corner kick. And it comes again. And it's going to come back out. Archibald puts it back in, headed away by Malone. And Donnelly trying to get turned, he does. Archibald still trying to get in here, and he's got it back, Alan Archibald. And Rob Douglas makes this another superb stop to prevent Partick from getting a goal back in this game. But at the expense of another corner kick. Payton again, going across to take it. Everybody in the box apart from Brian Beasley for Dundee. Well, it's headed by Shinney. Oh, it's going to be another corner kick. The balls that are coming in from Payton are deadly. But Dundee are still somehow dealing with it. Just one of the Partick players tying the shoelaces. Payton. And again, Dundee failed to kick it away. They've knocked it behind 3 or 4 times now. But McMenamin slicing that one the other way. And it's going over the crossbar from that corner. And then it comes now. Oh, they're claiming handball, Partick fans. And this time it goes over the crossbar. And Dundee kind of regroup now, as they've been awarded the goal kick. A frantic couple of minutes there. 4 or 5 corners I think it was. But Dundee deal with it. And Rod Douglas is just about to take the goal kick for Dundee. It's Darren Young loses it out on the header. Payton. And Rowson trying to put one forward for Simon Donnelly, but the flag's up. Up from Douglas. And up again from Pozniak. Head away only as far as Andrew Sheney though. The ball flew. McMenamin looked on side there. Deasley was the one I think who was offside. But it found a way through to Colin McMenamin. And I think that may have been a wrong decision by the linesman on the far side. And he was 1-on-1 as well with Tuffy, and he could have made it 3-0 Dundee and killed this game off. But it isn't, but Dundee have a throw in now, down in their own half. Cowan just looking for movement. Headed on by McMenamin. Now here's Rowson. Shinny gets a foot in. Now Paul Payton. Headed by Malone. McMenamin. Pozniak. Finds Brian Deasley, good ball, and Deasley he slips at the wrong time there. And here Gilhaney on his left hand side and Shinny on the right. Both in acres of space, and here's Paul Payton down the other end. And Rad Douglas, well, one-handed, made that look easy. Now here's Andrew Shinny again. He's been an important player for Dundee since his loan move from Rangers. McKinley back to Harkins. Twirl. Away by Benedictus. And it's going to find a way through to Gilhaney. Brian Deasley. Finds Malone. Chris Pozniak. Squares it to Cowan. To ball in. Deasley was attacking it. Head away. Only as far as Danny Young. Shot blocked Gilhaney. And he's charged down as well. Malone back to Pozniak. Again, squares it to Cowan. Andrew Sheney. And Deasley just trying to put him back in again. But it's run out of play. Throw in to Partick. We're just past 50 minutes in the second half. Still Dundee 2. Partick Thistle 0. Darren Young. Archibald. Oh, it's found a way through to Buchanan. Now here's Twaddle. Darren Young does well, but it's found to Paul Payton. And he's found Simon Donnelly. And he's gone back here. Ball in, lovely ball in. And well, again, I think it's Harkins. He had another clear opportunity. It was a free header. And he dives down at it and puts it over the crossbar. Yeah, he should have made that 2-1. He's had two great opportunities in the second half. And twice Dundee be lucky it's fell to him because his heading's been a bit off today. Cowan. Flicked on by McMenamin, looking for Deasley. Now here's Robertson. Well, it's flipped by McKinley to Paul Payton. Still going, Liam Buchanan. And it's going to be a corner kick to Partick again. Well, Dundee have been under a lot of pressure in the second half. When they do break, they're putting the pressure right back on Partick, but it hasn't been as much as what Partick have. Again, it's a lovely ball in. Simon Donnelly back to Payton. And that's over the crossbar. That'll be a goal kick to Dundee. There may have been a push on Benedictus. It wasn't given, and Partick again rue an opportunity to get ourselves back in this game. Still 2-0 Dundee. When Dundee finishes, it's back to the training ground. And in the start of July come the friendlies. And maybe some signings as well to bolster their chances of getting back up to the SPL. St Johnstone have won the division this year. And Dundee fans will be hoping it's them next. But Memon losing out to Harkins. Payton trying to play in McKinley. Simon Donnelly. Flipped by Payton. Donnelly again. Well held by Rob Douglas. Well, it's not one of his best kicks, Rob Douglas. It's another throw into Partick. Benedict is clearing well. McKinley. Twaddle. Now it's Brian Deasley. Shinny. That was a heavy touch from Brian Deasley. Now Bosniaks who can get in here. And Dundee have won a free kick. And there's going to be a booking here as well for Simon Donnelly, who I think's being released by Partick at the end of the season. That'll be Jim Loughlin to take the free kick. Gets it back from Darren Young. Shinny back to Loughlin. And it's found its way through at Payton. Here by Loughlin only as far as Harkins. Now Simon Donnelly. Bosniak cuts the ball out well. He's had a good game today, Bosniak. And Malone was caught late there by Harkins, and there's going to be another yellow card here for the Partick Thistle man. I think he's just getting a bit frustrated now. And referee Stevie O'Reilly giving Harkins a telling off. But it's Liam Buchanan who's making way. And it's Willie Kinnenberg who's coming on to replace him.
Coming on for Partick Thistle, number 16, Chris Doolan.
No, it's not Kinnenberg, it's Chris Dillon who's came on to replace him. There's Payton. Up from Darren Young. Merriman, for fancy flick, kicks the ball in. He was onside as well. And it's cleared by a Story. And then you have a throw in just down below us. And it's going to be Malone to take it. And Rossi can get it away. There's Harkins, but Shinny nips in before him. And he's giving it away cheaply to Payton. Story. to Archibald. Simon Donnelly. Here's Archibald again. It's cleared by Cowan. Then by Benedictus. Harkins. Finds the way to Ralston. And he's got it back here. Simon Donnelly. Harkins. Partick being allowed to pass the ball about here at Dens. Dundee not really closing down, but more sitting back. And here's a chance. Benedictus. Was it handball? Don't think it was. And Dundee have a throw in. Shinnie back to Benedictus. McMenamin trying to find Brian Deasley. And he's going to throw in. Deasley again. Was a good ball in. And it's in! Lovely goal from McMenamin. Oh, he just volleys that and he just lets it hit his foot. Just directs it goalwards. And Jonathan Duffy had really no chance with that one. Lovely volley from Brian Deasley. And Dundee have made it 3-0 here at Dens Park. Just before the half-hour mark of the second half. It's Dundee 3, Partick Thistle 0. And 2 goals for Colin McMenamin. So a truly lovely finish from McMenamin. We're by Benedictus. Simon Donnelly. That's going to be switched here for Payton. Good take, good ball in as well. And it evades everyone, and it's going to be go behind for a goal kick to Dundee. And maybe now Dundee can just relax a little. Up from Rab. And Deasley's trying to turn away. Payton. And Malone slipped here. Laughlin's going to chase Chris Dillon. And he gets to the ball before him. And again, Partick have another throw in. Deep inside the Dundee half. And Partick are going to make their final change. And it's going to be Paul Payton, who's been Partick's best player. He's making way, just clapping to his support.
Coming on from Partick Thistle, number 17, Ricky Little. He's replacing number 7, Claire Payton.
And Ricky Little coming on to replace him. He's coming over to take the throw in. And it comes. Harkins with the head. Away by Young. Deflected by Deasley. And Malone puts out for another throw into Partick. Well, they played a lot better the second half, Partick Thistle. Just can't seem to find a way past the Dundee defence and past Rab Douglas. That's away by Andrew Shinnie. And Merriman flickering it onto Brian Deasley, and Dundee are away here. And Deasley had to stop his run. And as he did, it was Rosen that got back. Away by Cowan. And by Story. McKinley putting it down. Simon Donnelly. Good tackle by Chris Bosniak. He's had a good game today, Bosniak. Maybe one of the contenders for man of the match. And there's a ball in for Brian Beasley. Lachlan. No, Harkins. And he's got it again, Harkins. Takes on Gilhaney, but good tackle from Gilhaney, second time round. And Gilhaney was pushed by a Story, and it's going to be a yellow card for him. Gilhaney away, he's so quick. Rapid little winger he is. And when he beats Simon Story for pace, Story can only give a little nudge and stop him from attacking Partick's goal. Malone standing over the free kick. Looking for McMenamin. Goes out, Harkins helps it on. And Rosen. And it's out to play again for another Partick throw in. And it's Ricky Little again who's gonna take the throw in. And Gilhaney away. And it's from Shinny. And the legs were taken away from Beasley. And again, a free kick to Dundee. Well, they played really well, Dundee, today. Missing key players, Giorgio Sefren, Paul McHale, Colin Cameron, Courier, Payton. They've done really well today. Darren Young and Bosniak played very well together in the centre midfield. And here's Bosniak again. He's got it back. He's late from McMenamin. 3-0! And Colin McMenamin gets a hat-trick. And a lovely one as well. 3 very good goals for Colin McMenamin. And he's got Dundee's 4th. And he'll be keeping that ball at the end of the game. Hat-trick for Colin McMenamin. Lovely play from Bosniak. Superb stuff from Dundee. And the fans who wonder why they haven't done this all season, they've got the quality, it's there. And hopefully they can bring this type of game at the start of next season and all the way through next season. And I'm pretty sure they might win the First Division comfortably. A shot from Harkins just over the crossbar, but they've won a free kick because Lachlan had left his foot out and caught Harkins after the shot was played. And Partick have a chance to get a consolation. Some of the Partick fans are making their way out. Oh, the corner's been given. And by Rowson. And it's coming for a goal kick. Well, Partick have played some good football in the second half. Dundee were looking a bit sloppy in places, but when they break, they put the ball in the back of the net, and Partick Thistle haven't. And it's proved that the finishing has been better from Dundee. Up from Douglas. Pausing trying to flick it on. Beasley. I'm going to run this one down. And they've won a throw in as well. Kevin finds Shinny. Now throw into Dundee. Well, I think the man of the match may just go to Colin McMenamin, since he has his hat trick. And that came back up with Cowan, pausing it, just trying to find him, played the ball a bit too hard off him. And Partick had the throw in. Now 35 minutes played in the second half. That's a ball looking for Story, but it's going to run out of play for a goal kick to Dundee. And Partick trying to break again. It was Doolan's. Finds Harkins. From this way to Twaddle. Archibald closed down well by McMenamin. And it's run through to Rad Douglas. McMenamin with a flick line for Deasley. That's taken down the chest well by Doolan. And that's going to be a throw into Dundee. Well, they're going to make another 2 changes, or they're just going to leave it be. And the free kick's been given to Dundee. And Shenny's still on the ground here. He's going to need treatment. Yeah, he's up now. He's okay. We just have to walk that one off. Oh, Shenny having words with O'Reilly. And now the free kick can be taken. Oh, referee Stevie O'Reilly's having words with the Partick Thistle manager. I think he's being told to keep his mouth shut. Cowan. He's in again, Cowan. Throw into Partick. Dundee fans just stand to make noise again down below us. And the ball's out of play for now. Dundee throw in. It's going to be a throw into Partick Thistle now. And I think a little bit Roy is warming up. Well, Dylan's trying to back heel, didn't work. Well, Benedict is doing well again, but he came off worse a little there. Malone with the head finds Gilhaney. And he turns his man well. Muscled out by Rowson. And the free kicks going to be given to Partick Thistle. And Dundee are going to be taking off Rab Douglas for Elizabeth Roy. I remember Douglas has played every minute of every game this season. I'm not sure if he'll be happy or maybe a little disappointed that he didn't break a record. Harkins. Cut away by Benedictus. Oh, he's taken out late by Harkins, and that's going to be a yellow card, surely. And still Partick Thistle can't score. And Rod Douglas is going to make way for Elizabeth Roy. And the cheers for Rod Douglas is phenomenal here at Dens Park. If there was a bigger crowd, well, then maybe the whole of Dundee would hear it. And Elizabeth Roy is making way, coming on to replace Rod Douglas. And his kick almost finds him at McMenamin. Cleared by the Partick defence, Malone. Kilhaney. And he's won a free kick. Well, McMenamin wants it put in the box. Is Malone going to pick him out? No, he doesn't. McKinley going back to Archibald. It's headed out by Cowan. Thrown to Partick Thistle. Harkins trying to give Elizabeth Roy something to work with, but it's gone well wide of the target. And Andrew Shinnie, who may have played his last game for Dundee, we're not sure. And Freddie Darko is coming on to replace him. There 5 minutes left in the second half. It's going to be a goal kick to Dundee.
Substitute for Dundee, number 7, Andrew Shinnie, being replaced by Freddie Darko.
By Ludo. Throw into Dundee. And Dakon gets his first touch. And that's a good first touch as well. McMenamin. And he's winning a throw in. Well, it's a ball over top. Deasley's onside. If he can keep it in. No, he has. And he's run out of play for a goal kick. Getting a little bit carried away, Brian Deasley. I'm pretty sure he's allowed to. There's only a few minutes left. And Dundee is sitting happily here at 4-0. And here comes Fred Duckwood. And he was trying to play in Brian Deasley. Here's Rosen. He's gone back to Tuffy. McKinley. Harkins is on the booking. And Archibald. The bounce is beaten. Benedictus. It's Doolin. That's a throw into Partick. Right down the far side near the corner flag. Well, can Dundee see it through to the end and keep a clean sheet? Or is Ludwig Schroy going to concede? And it comes here away by Darkwin. Shot by Donnelly. Archibald away by Darren Young. Story. Shot closed down well by Colin McMenamin. He's had a sensational game. I'm pretty sure he will be given the man of the match by the match sponsor. Away again by Malone. Throw into Partick. The referee just checking his watch. Gilhaney does well. Darren Young. And Beasley being told to get on with it. Here's McKinley. Trying to play one in for Twirlo, but it's gone out of play for a goal kick. And I think that may be Partick's last chance. And it's a little bit shy with the goal kick. Well, Danny Young trying to win the ball back. Harkins. Beasley intercepts. Free kick's been given. Danny Young playing it out to Malone. And it's over hit. That may have came off the hand of Harkins, but play on, and Harkins is away here for Partick Thistle. Taking on Jim Laughlin, and Bosniak's here. I'll say that today he's had a very good game, Chris Bosniak. One or two passes have been a bit sloppy and let him down. Apart from that, he's been immense in midfield. And here's Gilhaney. Malone finds McMenamin. Malone again. Back to McMenamin. Laughlin finds Malone. And it's going to be a throw into Partick. Here's Simon Donnelly. And the offside flag was up. But I think it will just be a goal kick for Dundee. Well, we're into stoppage time here at Dens Park. Score is Dundee 4, Partick Thistle 0. Goals, well, the first one came from Darren Young. And after that, it's a superb hat-trick from Colin McMenamin. 3 very well taken goals from a Dundee hitman. Little to take another throw in. Oh, we had a kick. And it's over. Ludwig Roy's goal. Goal kick to Dundee. Again, Riley having another look at his watch. Donnelly. Stories touches let him down. Throw into Dundee. I'm alone in no real hurry to take this. Dundee have got the 3 points in the bag. I'm not sure how much and how far they'll go up the table with the win today. Goal difference may play a part in it. But here's Darren Young. Laughlin looking for Brian Beasley. Now Bosniak. Back to Laughlin. Story heads away. Pozniak. And there goes the final whistle here at Dens Park. Well, lovely second half from both teams. Both teams fighting hard. It was Dundee who got the 2 goals in the second half, following the 2 in the first. Again, goals coming from Danny Young and a hat-trick from Colin McMenamin. Final score here at Dens Park is Dundee 4, Partick Thistle 0.